Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lachtech Musar podcast. We continue with the Pele Yoeitz. We are on page 709 in the Art Scroll, day 250 in Hachzik. We're in the middle of discussing lending money, and we continue with that inyan. When one does lend with a collateral, everything should be clear in writing. If the time comes, the time agreed upon, and you didn't pay up, if you have a mashkin that you can sell it without any permission at Vishia Mashkin Ba'achris Aloive, Shenemen al Pidi Buroi, Hakal al Kol Asher Yomar, everything should be written and should be stated explicitly in writing. So that no evil should come, everything should be clear and understood. No one should have complaints against you. The mashkin best should be given over to third party. In all, everything is clear, there's no misunderstanding, there's no confusion. Now the Pele Yoeitz is going to give a little inspirational chizik to motivate a person to even give money freely. A person who lends poor money in a time of need, the pasuk in Yeshaya says, then you will call and Hashem will respond, you will cry out and he will say, Hineni, here I am. There are Mefarshim, they're telling him, b'shas dachi shel malva, she'afa pishav oisef parku dachak lamayis yidchoik atzma yoysa havas la'ani. We know the concept of the Fum Tzara Agra, and tells the Pele Yoeitz is teaching us that the dachkus, the time of pain, the time of where it's deichik, where it's difficult, is when it's difficult for the malva, and if he pushes himself, then he can tap into where Hashem says, here I am for you. Mitzvahs hava eni rak b'mayis ela gam b'prakmatya. If noisonly b'hakafa ve'ena moisav al d'mei ha'mekach, mitzvah ka'aver v'olim chesed d'baneh, all these mitzvahs that he's getting for, it's not just in money, it's with merchandise as well. You have a drill, you have a shoe polish, and you lend it to someone else, you got a mitzvah. Why? Because you are tapping into and helping the cause of Olam Chesed Baneh, enhancing and making this world a better place with kindness, because the world is built. Torah, Avodah, Gemilas, Chasadim. You should even lend to a guy. Now the Pele Yoeitz, we're concluding this topic of Hava, and the Pele Yoeitz ends off with personal finance advice, something we can all use. In any event, even though it's a great mitzvah to help people and to extend credit to others, it's always good for a person to choose a business for himself that doesn't require him to extend merchandise on credit and be forced to travel to collect that which he's owed. Chazal say a small gourd is better than a large gourd. What does that mean? A large gourd is better. It's better to have a small profit in hand than much more that is owed on credit. It was said about a certain chassid, a pious man, he would daven to Hashem with the following supplication: Hashem, please save me, save us from a scattered soul. And he's referred to scattering of money, which causes the scattering of the soul. When the finances, when monetary inyanim aren't mesoder, when they're nefuzar, when they're scattered all over the place, that makes people feel discombobulated, feel tzafleigen, feel all over the place. especially for those who extend credit to people that live in far off places. And as a result, they must set their footsteps on long, far journeys, on roads that are dangerous. And they can truly say, in mortal danger we bring our bread, which is a klala. One should remember that, as the pasuk in Mishnah teaches us, better a dry piece of bread with peace along with it than pursuing great wealth at the cost of one's quality of life. Ubirkas Hashem mita'asher. It's the bracha of Hashem ultimately that brings wealth. A person can do whatever they want. A person can do a lot. A person can do a little. The concept that we always talk about is Hashem can make mud into gold and gold into mud. It doesn't really make a difference what you're doing. It doesn't really make a difference how, where, what, who. As the Chavis of Avos teaches us in Shar B'tachin, you do your shtadlus, and Hashem decides how it should manifest. Hashem decides how the bracha should come. But we're not here to say, this is what's going to make me matzliach, this is not going to bring me success. We do our shtadlus, and always remember, Birkas Hashem hi ta'ashir. It's the bracha of Hashem that will give us wealth, and we always have to remember, if nigzar olav she'asher, if it's gepaskind, if Hashem wants it, you should be an usher, you're going to be an usher by staying at home. Hamarbe lo'himit v'ha'amit le'hechser. And by working less will not reduce what Hashem wants to have, and by working more is not going to increase. It's all predetermined, it's all predestined, it's all preordained, and we can try to grind, we can try to be persistent, we can try to be in the driver's seat. But often, as the Chavis of Avos, and as we're learning over here in the Pele is teaching us, is that it doesn't really make a difference. You do your shtadlus, you're mindful that Hashem is goizer umekayim, you're mindful that Pesach Sedecha U'Masbeh L'Chol Chayratzon. There's only one person, only one force. There's only the Eibishter that's able to be Pesach Sedecha, and he's Masbeh L'Chol Chayratzon. Most people understand the pasuk is a beautiful vart. Most people understand the pasuk means Pesach Es Yodecha U'Masbeh L'Chol Chayratzon means Hashem, you are Pesach Sedecha. You open your hand and you satiate all mankind. But there's a beautiful Torah over here. A different translation, a different spin. It's not Hashem is Pesach Sedecha U'Masbeh L'Chol Chayratzon. It's you, Pesach Es Yodecha. You open your hand. You want to be a recipient. You want to be a beneficiary. You want to be supported by the Eibishter. Then Pesach Sedecha. Open your hand. Realize who's in control. Realize who makes the decisions. Realize where the Yoeitz HaTov truly is. And we can tap into that when we realize it's all the Eibishter. And then we're zeiche to the bracha, to the end of the pasuk of U'Masbeh L'Chol Chayratzon. Then Hashem says, I am Masbeh L'Chol Chayratzon, to only those that are Pesach Sedecha, that open their hands, that open their hearts, that are receptive, that are concrete in their emunah and bitachon, then I'm going to be Masbeh. Pesach Sedecha, you open your hand. You realize that it does make a difference how hard I work, how many hours. And never forget that in Nigzar Olav She'asher, if it's meant that you should be an usher, then Hamar B'Lehimit, if you work a lot, it's not going to decrease. V'Hamamat Lehechse, if you work a little, it's not going to take, it doesn't make a difference. It's Hashem, it's Eimim Levadoi, it's Hayohoi V'Viyah, it's we have to do our shtadlus and show Hashem that we're tapped in, that we realize. And when we do that, then Uberkas Hashem, Hita Asher, then we're Zeiche to the never-ending, the benevolent, the overflowing kindness of the Eibishter that brings wealth, that brings parnasa, that brings all the bracha, because Hashem is the owner, the operator, the only source of kol tov, of all the bracha, of all the parnasa in this world.